You were going to return to teaching. It was definitely not super popular in high school. The miscarriages have affected you more than you show. You don't struggle financially. I feel like I gained more weight postpartum than I did pregnancy. The urge to get social media famous is stronger than going back to teaching. I'm here to tell you that what you don't see are my couch rotting days. I don't know if I've never talked about this. It's just like kind of a private thing that I'm not just gonna be like posting about. Hello you guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm so happy that you're here. As you see from the title, today's video is just going to be a really fun, like sit down, chatty style video. I'm going to be answering your guys' assumptions about me. I don't know if you guys saw this, but it kind of like went everywhere all over TikTok and Instagram. People asking like, what are your assumptions about me in a little question box. And I was going to answer them on Instagram, but I thought it'd be more fun to sit down and do more of just like a longer chatty style video for YouTube. That way I'm not like cut on time. So I have all of the assumptions that you guys left me. There's some like totally out of left field. I guess some that are right, but it's just like really fun to see what you guys think. And I know a lot of you guys know me pretty well, considering I've been on YouTube for 5 years and Instagram for even longer. So a lot of you guys know me pretty well, but I feel like some of these people might be new around here. I just made myself a coffee. I've literally already drank the entire thing, and Jack is down for a nap. So what better time to sit down and just have some girl talk. I'm sure there's a few guys on here, but I feel like 99% of you are girls, and it's really fun just like sit down and have girl to girl talk, sister talk. Comment down below like how old you are. I feel like I have a lot of girls around my same age on here, but obviously I know that there's like a whole range of you, so comment down below and introduce yourself. I would love to say hi to you in the comments. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into your guys' assumptions about me. You were going to return to teaching. A lot of comments about like returning to school, and I answer this question all the time, but I do have a feeling I'll return to the classroom in some capacity at some point, but I don't know when. I am a stay-at-home mom right now. If you know, and you've been following the channel, you know that I have a 1-year-old son and I've been home with him the entire last year. Prior to that, I taught 2nd grade and then kindergarten, and this was like a teaching channel for a really long time. So I understand why a lot of you have questions about if I'm returning to the classroom. I loved teaching. I loved being in the classroom, and to be honest, I didn't know whenever I was pregnant if I would stay home with Jack for a year, 2 years, 3 years. I was kind of just playing it by ear. And after a year of staying home with him, I can say that I am loving it. I absolutely love being home. I love being with him all day, every day. I could not imagine a world where I send him somewhere, and I totally understand if you're a working mom and you have to work and you have to send your child to daycare. Obviously, like a ton of my friends send their kids to daycare. My sister-in-law sends her daughter to daycare, and there's definitely benefits to that as well, don't get me wrong. But me personally, I feel so blessed that I'm able to stay home with him and can't imagine it any other way. So I would imagine that I'll probably stay home with him, and if we were blessed to have any future children, until they all go to school, at least like pre-K, kindergarten age. And then who knows, I might go back to the classroom in a few years. You were popular in high school. I've actually gotten this one a few times, and I feel like it's very stereotypical, just because I'm like a blonde. People comment saying like, you were a cheerleader in high school, you were popular, whatever. No, actually, like that was not my journey. I was not the popular like head cheerleader, prom queen that a lot of you like guess. I was very like low-key in high school. I would say that I had like a lot of friends, but a lot of different like groups of friends. I didn't cheer, I didn't dance, I didn't play any sports. I literally just went to school, hung out with my friends, and then came home, like very chill. Yeah, I was definitely not super popular in high school, which is so funny like looking back, because that did seem like everything when you're in high school, like popularity and boys and friendships and drama. Like it's just like your entire world. So if you're in that era, I can assure you, when you're 30 and looking back, or 29 as I am, none of that matters. Literally none of that matters. And once you're all out of high school, like nobody cares if you were popular, if you were the head cheerleader, if you weren't popular, if you were a dork, a nerd. Like it's an even playing field once you're out of high school, and especially even out of college. So yeah, don't get too caught up in that. Okay, the next one. The miscarriages have affected you more than you show. I feel like I've been pretty transparent about this. And I don't know if I've talked about it on YouTube as much as I have Instagram. I'm a little bit more active on there and like update you guys on there day to day. But unfortunately, Kyle and I did end up going through another miscarriage this past month, and I kind of talked about this over on Instagram. But yeah, it's been really hard. I don't know if, obviously, like I'm not able to share with you guys everything, but I do feel like I've been like pretty transparent about what we've been going through over on social media. It's definitely been hard, really disappointing and like disheartening, I would say, whenever you go through something like this. We were able to get pregnant with Jack like pretty quick and easy, which I'm forever grateful for, especially now. When it came to trying for our second baby, we, you know, we didn't have too many fears surrounding that. And so now having 2 losses, it's definitely scary. And it just makes you wonder like what's wrong with me. Also feeling that like joy and excitement and then losing those pregnancies, it's just something like I would never wish on anyone to go through. It's really hard to put into words. I have a lot of people kind of like asking me how I'm doing, and yeah, we're just taking it day by day and trying to just stay hopeful and positive. I feel like that's really all you can do. And honestly, I'm just so grateful for Jack. Like if I didn't have him, I feel like I would be in a worse spot, you know? Like I have a healthy baby boy that I'm with all day, every day, and I'm just so grateful for him. And yeah, so that's kind of just where I'm at with that. Of course, I will keep you guys updated, but yeah, it's been hard. You secretly miss teaching. Kind of like I touched on in the first question. I do, but I don't. There's definitely things that I miss about it. When everyone went back to school, I had a little bit of FOMO and wish that I could be there like setting up the classroom and meeting all my new students, because that's definitely the most fun part. But trust me, there's a lot of things throughout the school year that I don't miss, and I would way rather be home with my baby. You wish that you provided more to the household income. I mean, yeah, I don't like the fact that I am not able to work and provide like a stable salary alongside my husband, but I feel like you gotta make sacrifices whenever you stay home with your baby. I am lucky that I do still make an income from social media, so I feel like if that wasn't a possibility, it would be a lot harder on us, so I am really grateful for that. But yeah, I mean, it would be great if we could both be bringing in like bomb salaries and I could stay home with my baby, but that's not gonna happen if you're a stay-at-home mom. So I am very grateful for my hardworking husband though. Kyle or your family calls you Maddie or some other nickname? No, actually, fun fact, I have always despised the nickname Maddie. I don't know why. It's just a personal preference. It's not the name that's bad. It's just I personally don't want to be called it. My entire life, people, especially like teachers, when they would read my name off of like attendance, they would see Madison and just like call me Maddie right off the bat. And I think that always just bugged me, because I'm like, that's not my name. Like that's not what's written there. And I personally just like to be called Madison. I don't like when people assume that it's Maddie. So yeah, it's just kind of a weird thing. There's only a couple people in my life that have ever called me it, and I kind of like accepted it because it was almost just like an instant thing that they like called me. Like my grandpa called me Maddie. One of my best friends growing up always called me Maddie, and then my oldest brother has always called me Maddie for some reason, and I just kind of like, it doesn't bother me as much when they say it, but for like general population, I want people to call me Madison. You were a sorority girly. Okay, this kind of goes hand in hand with thinking that I was the head cheerleader. I feel like maybe I just give off this vibe, which I get, but no, I was not a sorority girly. In fact, that was so not me. I had some friends that went into sororities. I actually went to community college for 2 years after high school. I didn't even go straight away to like a state college. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I didn't want to leave home. I was just like not ready for that yet. So I was really grateful that I actually had like a scholarship to where I got 2 years free at a community college to start earning some credits and like figure out what I wanted to do. And then after 2 years there, I transferred to Missouri State and went to a state college for 3 more years. And then I earned my teaching degree. But by the time I went, usually if you go into sororities, you have to go in your first year of college. Usually, that's like when you rush. I don't think you can rush as like a junior. I don't know much about it, don't ask me, but all I know is I was just not interested in that lifestyle at all. I literally got a 1-bedroom apartment with Nala, my dog, and made a few friends and just like kept quiet in college. Like I was not in the party scene and the sorority scene at all. And that's not to hate on sororities. I can see why people would like to be in like that big like family unit and like live in a house with a bunch of girls. Like I have a bunch of girlfriends that I love. But yeah, I don't know why that always like scared me. Like that's just not my personality to wake up and be in a house with like 50 other girls. I feel like I would be so overstimulated. I have a feeling you plan on having a lot of children, at least 4. False. We probably will only have 2 to 3 max. Like we never plan on having more than 3, and honestly like 2 is starting to sound like a good number. You don't struggle financially. I mean, yes and no. We're still young, we're still figuring out our finances. My husband is a resident, so contrary to popular belief, he does not make a doctor's salary yet. Everybody, when they hear that my husband's a doctor, they're like, oh nice. I'm like, oh no, not nice. I've been with him for 4 years of medical school and now almost 4 years of residency, in which he has still not made doctor money yet. Of course, he's working towards that, and we are like really blessed that he's working towards a great career down the line. But yeah, residents do not make doctor money. It's not like horrible, but it's definitely not what they deserve with the amount of hours that they work. But he only has 1 year left of residency, and then he will be an attending and a full-time doctor, in which he will make obviously doctor salaries. So we don't struggle financially, but we are definitely trying to be conscious of saving money, of our spending, more on my behalf. We would love to buy a house down the line, but as you guys know, the market is just crazy right now. So unfortunately, it's just like not in the next like year or 2 for us, like probably in 2 to 3 years. So we're saving for that as well. You want to sign Jack up for baby modeling? Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I have looked into baby modeling because I might be biased, but I think Jack is just like the cutest baby. Like he could be the next Gerber baby. But I don't know, I've done some research on this, and let me know if I'm wrong, but I've heard that it's actually really hard, a really hard business to get into, especially if you live in the Midwest. And there's so many cute babies out there. It's not necessarily like they're gonna be flying Jack out to New York just to have him in their campaign. So I have heard it's actually kind of like more work than it's worth to get your baby involved and that type of stuff. And I also personally am just like not sure I would even want him like in that realm, but I do think he would make a really cute baby model. You often compare yourself to other influencers in your life phase. Yeah, I feel like, of course, who doesn't compare themselves to other people? I am working on this, and I wouldn't say it's to a point where it really affects me, because I know how blessed I am, and I know how blessed I am to have what I have in my family, and yeah, that I never like take that for granted. But of course, yeah, whenever you're scrolling Instagram and you see all these people living these amazing lives with these giant houses and amazing cars and amazing bodies and all that, it's like, of course, it's natural to compare yourself to people, especially people that are in like the same life phase as you. But I try not to dwell on it too much, because I know, as someone who's on social media, people really pick and choose what they show, and nobody's life is perfect. You are a very scheduled type A person. I struggle to label myself as type A or type B, because there's certain things that I'm type A about and certain things that I'm more like lenient and type B about. Like if you ask my husband, I'm a very laid back person compared to him. He's very, very type A about most things. I'm type A about like a clean house, an organized environment, whereas he's not as much. But when it comes to other things in life, I do find myself a little bit more type B, a little bit more go with the flow, like, oh, if it happens, it happens. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like it just kind of depends on what it is. I probably fall more into the type B category though, because I'm definitely not super anal about things, not super detail oriented. I'm definitely not a perfectionist when it comes to anything. So yeah, probably more type B actually. You did not gain much weight while pregnant. I gained definitely like an average amount of weight while I was pregnant. I feel like I gained more weight postpartum than I did pregnancy. Postpartum was really hard for me. I don't know if it was just like the hormones and like my body just adjusting, but I think it also had a lot to do with like having a newborn baby and being like on the couch all day every day breastfeeding contact napping, just not getting a lot of movement and activity in, just kind of like eating whatever I wanted. I didn't get any exercise in for the first like few months. I think that had a lot to do with it as well. And now that I'm getting back to like a more of a routine, a more active lifestyle, working out again, I'm kind of more focused now on what I'm eating. Like I can actually put energy towards that. When you're like a fresh postpartum, you are just in survival mode. You could care less what you look like. So yeah, I definitely struggled with weight gain after pregnancy. You are the good cop and Kyle is the bad cop because you're much softer. I could see how you would think that, and even Kyle before we had kids was like, I already know I'm gonna be the bad cop and you're gonna just let our kids do whatever they want. But you guys did not see me teaching kindergarten. Like, I laid down the law. My kindergartners knew that I ran a tight ship, and I definitely am gonna run a tight ship at home as well with my children. Jack's only 1, so there's not a ton of discipline happening because he's literally 1 year old. I'm definitely a little bit more lenient about things. Kyle is definitely a little bit more strict, so it will be very interesting to see how we parent as he gets older. I do think Kyle will be a little bit more of the stricter one just because I'm naturally a little bit more laid back. But whenever it comes to like respect and knowing manners, all of that stuff, I'm definitely going to be very strict on enforcing those. This one made me laugh so hard. It says, you used to be a bodybuilder. False. I am like so honored that you think that I used to be a bodybuilder. That's so left field. Like, I don't give bodybuilder vibes at all. I'm gonna take it as a compliment though. I do love to strength train and I have lifted weights for years. That's like one of my favorite forms of exercise, but no, I'm not a bodybuilder. You hate doing nothing and always have to be busy. False. I can definitely see how you would think that with me like being on YouTube and posting reels and videos and me and Jack having these productive days and going from place to place. But I'm here to tell you that what you don't see are my couch rotting days and nights and my couch rotting times during his naps. Trust me, I was actually just talking to a friend about this. I am not the type of person that feels guilty doing nothing. I actually feel wonderful doing nothing. I love to rest, give my body rest, give my mind rest. I am the type of person that sometimes feels like I have to earn it, like I have to get something done before I can rest, or maybe like use his first nap to be productive and then the second nap I can rest and like rot on the couch. But yeah, no, I love a good couch rot. Before I had kids, I would just like lay on the couch for hours and binge shows. I think it's important to rest and I think it's good for you, and I don't think it's healthy if you're just like constantly stressed whenever you're resting. You're probably a really productive person if you can't like sit down and relax, but I think it's good for you to be able to sit down, relax, kind of like shut your brain off, rest your body, but there has to be balance. The urge to get social media famous is stronger than going back to teaching. This is kind of funny. I don't feel like I have an urge to get social media famous. I know I'm not gonna get social media famous. That's just like not a goal of mine. I mean, I have like a little following on YouTube and on Instagram, but yeah, I think if your goal is to get like social media famous, then you're just doing it for all the wrong reasons, and I don't really see you like successfully building a strong community on social media. So no, that's definitely not a goal of mine, and I do see myself going back to teaching one day. You secretly wanted to have a girl first. No, I weirdly always knew that I would have a boy first. I always envisioned myself with a baby boy, and so it was almost like when I found out that it was a boy, it was just like, well, yeah, like, I don't know, it was just like a knowing. I was just like, yeah, like it's a boy. I just knew. Of course, whenever you're like newly pregnant, you go back and forth in your head like, oh, is it a boy, is it a girl, and you're trying to like decode your symptoms. But no, I feel like the fact that he's a boy was just like meant to be. I would love a girl, of course, but at the same time, I love having a baby boy. It is so special. And of course, I would love to give Jack a brother. So I'm just team healthy baby, healthy pregnancy all the way. My view on that has also changed since having a couple losses. Like, I just would be so blessed to have a healthy baby. I don't care if it's a boy or girl. I think you got breast implants, and this one is funny and very direct. I don't know if I've never talked about this on social media, and it honestly wasn't intentional. It's just like kind of a private thing that I'm not just gonna be like posting about. But yes, I did get breast implants a few years ago. I don't even remember. I think it was 3 years ago now, 3 or 4 years ago. I did get implants, and I don't regret them. I will say, like everyone says, wait till after kids to get breast implants. I kind of agree with that, just because I do feel like they've deflated a little bit since breastfeeding, but I'll probably just like get them redone whenever I'm done having kids. Kyle isn't your typical type, but you guys are such a perfect match personality wise. False. Kyle is my type to a T. I don't even know how to explain it. The dark hair, the dark eyes, tall. When I met him, he had like long hair and a man bun and like a bushy beard. That is my type to a T. So yeah, he's definitely my type. You're a normal girl next door, minimal skeletons in the closet. Yeah, I mean, no, I don't have like a record. If you look me up online, no crazy secrets. Like if you know me in person, you know everything. I am the type of person to probably share too much, hence why I yap on camera for 30 minutes and post it for the internet to see. But no skeletons in the closet. But yeah, I feel like I'm a normal girl. I'm just a normal girl who loves to film her life and connect with other people online. So let me know if you thought different. Did you think that I had skeletons in the closet, like things I was hiding? Because that's very interesting to me. I don't feel like I come across as very mysterious. I got a couple messages saying you have anxiety. True. I've talked about this a lot online, so if you know me, you already know that that is very true. I have struggled with anxiety for years, and I've been on medication for it for years as well. If you guys want me to talk more about this, I can. I feel like I haven't talked about this for a really long time. If you are someone that has anxiety or depression or just mental health issues, you know it is a ongoing battle for your entire life. Even if you're taking medication, that is not just like a cure, like fix all. It's something that you have to work on every single day. And yeah, I feel like I should probably talk about it more, because I know so many people do struggle with anxiety that watch. My struggles with anxiety started whenever I was about like 20, 21. It's kind of been like an ongoing battle for the last few years. I will say the last couple years I've been doing much better, like in a much better place mentally. And I think I can attribute that just to life and my husband and my child, just like so many blessings. My relationship with God, like my faith, has improved a lot over the last few years too, and I think that's really helped me to manage my anxiety. So if you guys do have any questions about that, I'm an open book and would love to talk about it, and of course love to like support you, especially if it's something that you're struggling with right now. I do have a few videos on my channel where I've talked more in depth about my anxiety. I think I have a video from a few years back where I kind of go like really in depth about my anxiety journey. So if I can find that, I will have that linked if you'd like to watch it. It's old, so be easy on me. It's an older video, but yeah, I will definitely talk more about that if you guys have questions about it. Okay, I'm going to end off this video here. I know that was a long, chatty, just like all over the place, like every topic covered video, but I hope you guys enjoy these just like chatty sit down videos. I love just getting the chance to like sit down and talk to you guys one-on-one. Of course, I love filming the vlogs as well, but nothing better than just like a chatty video. So if you guys do have any other questions that you want to ask me, you can comment them down below. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram or TikTok, I'll have those linked down below as well. I'm a little more active on there like daily. But yeah, other than that, I am so grateful for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for all of your support. I love and appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.